Picture this. Your kid walks through the door after school, and instead of rushing to tell you about their day, they give you a quick, "Fine," and disappear into their room. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Many parents wonder why their once chatty children seem to be slowly pulling away. The truth is, some of our most well-intentioned parenting habits might actually be creating distance between us and our kids, without us even realizing it. Today, we're diving deep into 10 subtle behaviours that psychology tells us can push children away as they grow older. But here's the thing. Recognizing these patterns isn't about perfect parenting. It's about awareness, growth, and building stronger connections with the little humans we love most. Let's start with something that might surprise you: the achievement interrogation. Your child walks in the door, backpack still sliding off their shoulder, and before they can even kick off their shoes, you hit them with the rapid-fire questions. How was that math test? Did you finish your project? What homework do you have tonight? You think you're showing interest and support, but to them, it feels like a performance review where they forgot to bring their notes. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. Children naturally crave approval from their parents. When the first thing you ask about is always academic performance, they begin to internalize the message that your love and attention are tied to their achievements. If they mess up or struggle, they start hiding it rather than coming to you for help. You're unintentionally raising an anxious overachiever with secret stomach aches. The fix is beautifully simple. Ask about them first, not their output. Try questions like, "What made you laugh today?" Or, "Who did you sit with at lunch?" Or, "Did anything weird or interesting happen?" Be genuinely curious about their world, their friendships, their experiences. Academic success matters, but showing your child they matter regardless of grades, that's what keeps communication channels wide open. The second subtle mistake is what I call emotional editing. Your child says, "I hate my teacher," and you immediately jump into PR mode saying, "You don't hate her, you're just frustrated." Or they express, "I'm terrible at math," and before they can finish their thought, you're already cheerleading with, "Don't say that, you just need more practice." You think you're being helpful, but to them, you're editing their feelings in real time. Elementary-age children are just learning to identify and name their emotions. When you constantly correct or reframe what they're feeling, they stop trusting their own emotional responses. They begin hiding what's real or only expressing what they think you want to hear. Instead of fixing their feelings, try validating them first. "Sounds like that really upset you. Want to tell me more about it?" Or, "Math is feeling really hard right now. That must be frustrating." Feelings don't need immediate solutions. They need witnessing. After you've acknowledged their experience, then, and only if they want help, you can explore what to do next together. Here's a tricky one that many loving parents fall into: overprotection disguised as care. You see your child struggling with a friendship issue, and before they finish explaining, you're mentally drafting an email to their teacher. They get stuck on homework, and you're already halfway through solving the problem before they even ask for help. This feels supportive and proactive, but what children learn from this pattern is deeply problematic. "I can't handle things on my own. I need someone to rescue me." This message systematically destroys confidence and self-efficacy. Children need small struggles and challenges. They're practice runs for bigger life situations. The research is clear on this. Psychologist Albert Bandura emphasized that people need a sense of self-efficacy to develop resilience for life's inevitable obstacles. When we solve everything too quickly, we rob children of powerful learning moments, the chance to discover their own problem-solving abilities. Try asking, "Do you want help figuring this out, or do you just need me to listen?" This simple question accomplishes 3 crucial things. It gives them agency over the situation, builds trust in the relationship, and prevents you from automatically jumping into helicopter mode. The fourth behavior that quietly creates distance is dismissing or minimizing their emotions. Maybe your child is genuinely upset about losing a favorite toy, and your immediate response is, "Don't worry, we'll get you another one." While this seems logical and comforting to adults, you're actually dismissing the real grief they're experiencing over their loss. When we minimize children's feelings, even with good intentions, we send the message that their emotions don't matter or aren't valid. This makes them feel unseen and unheard, which naturally creates emotional distance. Children learn to keep their feelings to themselves because sharing them doesn't feel safe or worthwhile. The alternative is validation, even when their emotions seem disproportionate to us. I can see you're really sad about losing your toy. It was special to you. This acknowledges their experience without immediately trying to fix or change it. Now here's something counterintuitive. Too much praise can actually push children away. When we overpraise every little thing they do, it creates an unhealthy dependence on external validation. Children might start doing things not for intrinsic joy or satisfaction, but primarily to receive that hit of praise they've come to expect. This pattern teaches children to look outside themselves for worth and motivation. They become praise-dependent rather than developing internal drive and self-assessment skills. The key is focusing praise on effort and process rather than just outcomes. Instead of, "You're so smart," try, "I saw how hard you worked on that problem," or "You didn't give up when it got difficult. That took real persistence." Here's something that might sting a little. Neglecting your own self-care actually impacts your relationship with your children. When parents consistently put everyone else's needs first and ignore their own physical, emotional, and mental well-being, they become stressed, irritable, and less patient. This leads to more conflicts and misunderstandings with children. Children are incredibly perceptive. They pick up on our stress, our exhaustion, our emotional depletion. When we model the message that self-care is selfish or unimportant, we're teaching them unhealthy patterns they'll carry into their own lives. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's essential for showing up as the parent your child needs. In our hyper-connected, fast-paced world, quality time often gets squeezed out by urgent but less important tasks. Children don't just want your physical presence, they need your emotional presence. When you're together but distracted by phones, work thoughts, or endless to-do lists, they feel the disconnection. This isn't about spending every waking moment together. It's about creating moments of genuine connection where your child feels seen, heard, and valued. Put the phone in another room during dinner. Make eye contact when they're telling you about their day. React to their stories like they're sharing NASA secrets, because to them, they are. One of the most damaging patterns is when parents use their children as emotional support systems. Maybe you're stressed about work, finances, or relationship issues, and you find yourself venting to your child or leaning on them for comfort and reassurance. While children can be surprisingly wise and empathetic, they're not equipped to handle adult problems or serve as your therapist. When children feel responsible for managing their parents' emotional well-being, they lose the chance to fully experience their own childhood. They become anxiously hyper-vigilant about keeping everyone happy and stable. This creates adults who struggle with boundaries and their own emotional needs. The comparison trap is particularly insidious because it often comes from a place of wanting to motivate children. Your sister was reading chapter books by your age, or why can't you be more organized like your friend Emma? These comparisons, even when meant to inspire, send the message that who they are isn't quite good enough. Children are naturally building their sense of identity and self-worth. When we compare them to others, siblings, friends, even past versions of themselves, they learn that love and approval are conditional on performance and achievement. Some become insecure and self-doubting. Others develop a competitive, better-than-you attitude. Either way, they're learning that relationships are competitions rather than sources of unconditional love. Finally, there's the subtle pressure of overemphasizing competition and winning. While healthy competition can teach valuable lessons, when everything becomes about coming first, being the best, or outperforming others, children start linking their self-worth directly to their achievements. This creates enormous pressure and anxiety. Children begin fearing failure so much that they avoid trying new things or taking creative risks. They stick to what they know they can excel at, missing out on the joy of exploration and discovery. The solution isn't eliminating competition entirely, but rather teaching children that their value as human beings isn't determined by victories or defeats. Celebrate effort, creativity, improvement, and courage to try new things. Ask, did you have fun? And what did you learn? Alongside, how did you do? Here's what's beautiful about recognizing these patterns. Awareness is the first step toward change. None of us are perfect parents, and that's not the goal. The goal is to create relationships built on trust, respect, and genuine connection. Children who feel truly seen, heard, and valued for who they are, not just what they achieve, grow up with stronger self-esteem, better emotional regulation, and healthier relationships. They're more likely to come to you with problems, share their real experiences, and maintain close family connections as they grow older. Start small. Pick one or two of these areas to focus on. Maybe it's putting your phone away during after-school conversations, or asking about their day before jumping into homework questions. Maybe it's catching yourself before you compare them to others, or taking that yoga class you've been putting off for months. Remember, parenting isn't about getting everything right. It's about staying curious, remaining open to growth, and showing your children that they matter simply because they exist. When children feel that kind of unconditional love and respect, they don't pull away, they grow closer, sharing more of themselves because they know it's safe to do so. The relationship you're building with your child today is the foundation for your relationship with them as teenagers and adults. These subtle shifts in how you connect, communicate, and care for both them and yourself will pay dividends for years to come. Your child doesn't need a perfect parent. They need a parent who's willing to keep learning, growing, and showing up with love, patience, and genuine interest in who they're becoming.